According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Children's Bureau, more than 9% of children have been sexually assaulted. Experts say a growing number of cases come from coaches abusing young athletes. News 8's Keely Arthur has more.
Brittany, according to a National Institute of Justice report, the majority of children who were sexually assaulted were victimized by someone they knew well. That includes athletic coaches. However, the La Crosse Police Department says they haven't seen any sexual abuse cases involving coaches, and local organizations are doing what they can to keep it that way.
We're a Develop Kids program.
The Boys and Girls Club of Greater La Crosse serves 1,800 children who participate in more than a dozen different sports.
You not only develop their skill sets, but you're also trying to develop them as people.
Young athletes between kindergarten and 6th grade are supervised by a total of 135 coaches.
At college, we got parents of kids, ex-coaches.
With so many people to keep track of, Mike Desmond, the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club, says any potential coaches go through a strict screening process.
Have to fill out an application just like anybody else, even if they're volunteer coaches. There's a background check done on all our coaches. We interview every one of our coaches and make decisions who would fit at what level the best.
Once a coach is hired at the Boys and Girls Club, they go through training that discusses sexual abuse.
There's also a strong educational piece so that our coaches know what the Boys and Girls Club philosophy is and what our objective is at the end of the day.
Experts say it's also important for parents to talk to their children about the topic.
Communicating that we're open to discussing and exploring these things. Without shying away and putting our head in the sand and imagining that it couldn't possibly happen.
But stress that a small number of coaches are responsible for the majority of sexual abuse.
It's not like this epidemic that coaches all over the place are doing it. It tends to be coaches in isolated pockets that are in supportive environments that tend to victimize many people.
The Boys and Girls Club is striving to improve their already solid record when it comes to keeping kids safe. They recently had an outside task force from the Parenting Place in La Crosse assess how they were doing.
There was very little to fix. There were a few things we needed to tweak, but there weren't really any huge gaps in terms of how we supervise kids.
In addition to abuse in child athletes, experts say a growing number of sexual abuse is happening within college sports. They say that's because it becomes a lot trickier to regulate since most athletes are at the age of consent. However, they say it's still abuse and there needs to be clearer guidelines on campuses.
All right, thanks so much, Keely. If you'd like more information, just head to safeforathletes.org.